Hello guys, my name is Sheikh Shahwali and I am a test engineer by profession. So that take cares of who I am. And the next question is for whom I am making this video. I am making this video for absolute beginners in testing and for students who want to make a career in testing. So in short it's for beginners. So the next question is why, a big question. Why I am making this video? Well, because most of the videos or the documents or tutorials you find on net talk about the definitions of terms in testing. They won't talk about what actually happens at the root level. They talk about performance testing, black box testing, system testing, compatibility testing, etc., etc. But they won't talk about what actually happens in real situations. I'll give you an example. I watched a video about black box testing, and the lady in the video was explaining the definitions. She was explaining what range testing is, or what boundary value analysis is, and what equivalence partition is. So she was actually giving the definitions. She was not talking about how these techniques are used in real life scenarios, real life situations, how these techniques are used to write test cases or test scripts. She was not explaining that, but I watched the video. I watched the whole video simply because the lady was stunning. So now in this video and in the future videos I'll talk about how test cases and test scenarios are prepared or executed, and how the defects are raised and how the defects are reported. So before directly going to testing, first I'll talk about a client who owns a company which sells security cameras or CCTV cameras, biometric devices or pen cameras, etc. So this client wants to store information about his company as well as information about his customers. I repeat that. So this client wants to store information about his company and information about his customers. So what he does is he goes to a software firm, he goes to a software company. Let's call that Eureka Systems Limited. I have no idea what I was thinking while I came up with that name. So anyways, he approaches an organization and he tells them that he needs a software which stores information about his organization, and the software should also store information about his customer. So he wants an application which stores information about his organization. So organization information here means he might be having different branches in different cities. So he wants the software to store those branch details, branch address, branch manager name, the contact numbers, etc. And he also wants to store information about his employees, like the department of the employee name, their phone numbers, their email IDs, etc. And apart from that, he also wants the software to store information about his products. Like I mentioned before, this client is selling security cameras, biometric devices, and pen cameras and CCTV cameras. So these are his products. So he wants to store information about those cameras in the application or in the software. Those details could be like the name of the product, name of the camera, the version, the price, etc. So apart from storing his information, he also wants the software to store information about his customer, like customer details like company name, who is the company owner, and the contact person, etc. Like I said before, the products are cameras here, like biometric devices are also there, iris devices are there, pen cameras are there. So he will actually search for potential customers here. So who would buy cameras, CCTV cameras or security cameras? Hotel owners, 3-star, 4-star or 5-star hotel owners, they might buy. And who would buy pen cameras? Probably the news channels, they might buy pen cameras. So he will actually gather information about them. So store that gathered information in this software, and he wants to assign that customer to his employee. So this employee will call them or contact this hotels or news channels, and he will talk about their product. He will say how good their product is, etc., etc., and he'll do follow-ups. So the follow-ups details should also be stored in that software. And if the hotels or the news channels buy some products from the payment details are noted. So this is the basic application. Now basic requirements, I'm sorry. So what are the basic requirements here? The application or the software should store information about client's organization, and it should also store information about client's customers. So now two scenarios arises here. Eureka Systems Limited could say two things. They might say, hey, hang on, we already have such a software and it's called customer relationship management application. Or if they don't have, they will build one. They will build a new one for the client. So here we have, let's take first situation. They already have a software. So if they are already having a software, it's a product. So they will sell that product, or they will sell that application to the customer. And if they don't have that software, or if they don't have that application, what they'll do is they will build a new one. So this is a project. So this gives a brief idea about what a project is and what a product is. Product is one which an organization already has, and it has released in the market. The organization has released the product in the market, whereas project is for only a specified customer. They don't have that from the beginning, or they don't have that in stores. They'll build it as per customers' requirements. That is a project. So that is the main difference between product and project. Most will get confused here. Now the customer, this discussions and meetings take place between two parties. Terms and conditions are agreed, and lots of handshaking is done, and the documents are signed. the formalities and the legal issues are taken care of, so some blah blah blah, so we are not bothered about that. Now meeting is arranged between client and like project managers and team leads and business analysts, etc. So in this meeting, what happens, the project team which will build client's software is introduced to the client for the first time. Here stakeholders are decided. I'll explain what stakeholders are later, but first let's see. Stakeholders are decided, each team member roles are specified, and reporting procedure, criteria, and different phases a software undergoes is decided. That is, the SDLC process is defined, that we should follow so and so SDLC process, and the project schedule depending on the requirements is discussed. So here I said stakeholders are decided. What are stakeholders, or who are stakeholders? Stakeholders are those people who influence the application is under construction, So here stakeholders, customer stakeholder, because he gives requirements and we are building application as per his requirements. So customer is one stakeholder, and the project manager, team leads, they are also stakeholders because they'll give their own ideas to the customer or to the development or to the team, that this software or application should be built in this way or that way, no, not this, that way, etc. So even project team members are also stakeholders here. So roughly the management of an organization plus the customer are the stakeholders. So each team member roles are specified. Now here the testing team should test the application, the development team should develop the application, and which tester will what, and which developer will develop what part of an application, etc. are specified, and the reporting procedure is also decided here. Reporting procedure would be like the junior engineers will report to the senior engineers, and the seniors will report to the TLs, and the TLs will report to the project manager, and the project manager will report it to the customer, or that is one hierarchy, or all the junior engineers and the senior engineers will report to the TL, and the TL will report directly to the customer. That is one again hierarchy. So reporting procedure is followed. Now different phases a software undergoes, that is SDLC process is defined, that to build this application will follow so and so SDLC process, software development life cycle process. So this software development life cycle process I'll explain you in the future videos, but right now just stick to this condition, this scenario now, this situation. Now project schedule is decided depending on the requirements. So okay, let's check another document. Here detailed requirements are given by the client to the organization. So client and business analyst, project manager, team leads, they do a conference, they discuss about features that software should have. Now in this meeting everybody will contribute their own ideas. Say for example, client will give some 12 requirements or 10 requirements, and the project manager will give his own ideas. Say project manager is giving 5 requirements, and the team leaders or senior engineers or executives are giving 5 more requirements, like that. So the whole group of people will